Hey guys, how you doing? This is Dr. Robert King, founder of Assisted Living University, known as ALU, the most intensive, comprehensive educational training ever taught in the healthcare industry. And today I'm going to try to give you some clarity on the residential ALF ownership process. There's a lot of confusion out there, and mainly because there's a lot of trainers out there right now, and so I'm trying to simplify the process. And so this is my 9-step. This is my process that I've taught over 1,000 students on how to get to that phase of opening their successful facility. So here we go, 9 steps in this process. Step number 1, phase. I call it phase. I'm sorry. Phase number 1, attend ALU. You have to get some training. You cannot make a build a business of this magnitude on YouTube University. You can't be cheap. You gotta get somebody, you gotta hire somebody to train you and guide you in this process. I personally believe, maybe I'm biased, Assisted Living University is the best training out there, mainly because I'm one of the few trainers who have literally opened, owned, operated, and sold a residential ALF. So I've done the whole thing, and so I know what I'm talking about. You find a trainer that resonates with your spirit, and then you can follow that individual, but stop trying to think that you're going to have $250,000, $400,000 a year business without getting anybody to train you who's already been there and done that. So I suggest you attend Assisted Living University, www.alfownership.com. If not, you better find somebody to train you before you start investing money in this process. All right, step number 2, phase number 2, choose the business model. Again, this is why Assisted Living University is so important, because I literally teach you the different types of business models that's available out there for you. Many people want to open up an ALF, but they don't literally know what type to open. What's the availability? What type are there? And so I have broken it down to the 4 different business model 1, 2, 3, 4. And in my training, I show you the different business models. That's important. People do it backwards. You can't go select a property, which is phase 3, without knowing what type of business model, what type of ALF you want to put inside of that house. That's just backwards. So make sure you know which business model you're interested in before you actually go to phase number 3, which is select the property. Once you know what type of business model, which plan you want to open, then you can select the property, because selecting a property is important. You're not looking for a house for you personally. You're looking for a house as a business, and so you're viewing it from different perspectives. You're not walking in there talking about how pretty the cabinets are, how great the countertop is, and I need 42-inch cabinets, and I need, fancy this and fancy that. That's not what you're purchasing this property for, or what you're using this property for. This property is for business. The elderly does not care if you got wood grain panel kitchen cabinets. They don't care. They don't care if you got granite accordion in your kitchen or in your living room or in your bathrooms. They don't care. They just want to make sure that you know how to treat them properly, and that your property looks good, so you can go get something that has minimum pricing, because you turn it into a business and it's not your personal property. Now, of course, location is important, and I go into much greater detail in my actual training, my actual online training, to help you with that process. So that's important. Phase 3, selecting the property. Now, phase 4 is once you have selected a property that you're going to use, now you got to run that property through your local building department. Now, every state is going to be different. Some of you guys are listening to this from states all over the United States. Some of you guys might be listening to this outside of the United States. There's no way possible any trainer can give you every detailed requirement from your state and your county, you have to do some of your own due diligence. I tell people all the time, my training is designed to put you on the right path, but you have to do the work. Stop trying to think that anybody's going to do all their work for you, and then stop asking somebody to be your mentor. Mentorship is very expensive. It's crazy to ask somebody to give their time, their talent, and their treasure to you for free to help you open your $250,000 business. That just doesn't make sense. So you cannot get all the answers just from one training. You can't get all the documents that you need from one person, because documents change based on business model, based on location, based on state agency. So you can't get all that just from one person. So what I'm saying to you is that once you select a property, phase 3, then phase 4, you're going to have to get that property approved, and they call it a certificate of occupancy. We call it the CO. You got to get that CO. Once you get that certificate of occupancy, and that's going to require quite a few inspections: fire marshal, health department, water department. Depends on your state, your county, but you got to go through this phase, this checklist of people coming in, checking out your property before they allow you to turn it in to an ALF. It has to be approved. And nowadays, you got to have a sprinkler system. That's pretty much mandatory now, that you probably have a sprinkler system. Again, depends upon your county, your state, but that's pretty much going to be mandatory. Now, once you get all that stuff together, then they're going to come in and inspect your property and then pass it and give you that CO. All right, now here we go. Now, I want you to look at that graph in front of you. Drop down to where the green arrow is and where it says pre-licensing marketing. Here is where most newbies opening their facilities drop the ball. I'm going to take my time here as much as possible, because once you get the property approved and you get that CO, now you know that you're going to open this facility. Now is the time to start your pre-license marketing. You're not licensed yet. You've got quite a few phases before you get licensed, but you can now start telling the world your 3 W's, who you are, where you at, what you have to offer. You have to start pre-licensed marketing, or you're going to end up like many ALF owners who have a facility, it's open, it's beautiful, it looks great. They did all the admin stuff, policy procedures, they did all that stuff, and now they have 0 residents. And now they're going broke, because every month you got to still pay for your living expenses in that property: mortgage, insurance, staff, blah, blah, blah. So you understand now in phase 4 is you have to do, now you got to run parallel process. You got to drop down and do your pre-license marketing. I cannot take the time in this training of the flow chart to teach you about pre-license marketing, but you have to go into ALU and grab the training that talks about pre-license marketing. That pre-license marketing is how I was able to get, listen to me very clearly, got licensed for 8, and literally within 74 days, we were full. All 8 beds was full. Well, how did that happen? Because I did pre-licensing marketing, and every state have rules and regulations on what you can do as a pre-licensed facility in your marketing. Figure it out, check it out, but listen to me clearly, do not forget your pre-licensing marketing. I'm just gonna stay here for a minute, like the pastor say, I'm gonna put a pin right here and pause. Do not forget your pre-license marketing, because I promise you what's going to happen is you're going to keep going through the administrative phases. You got your management hat on, and you're waking up every day going through the next phase, the next phase, the next phase, the next phase, but you never put on your marketing hat. You are your own residential ALF marketer. You need to know that, and you need to know where to market, who to market, where to market, and you need to understand that, and you have to get training for that. You just can't go grab a 10-minute video on YouTube or a 7-minute reel from somebody on Instagram and think that you're going to learn all this information. Nor can you even go to these little short, quick trainings for a couple days or for a couple hours and thinking that that's going to get you everything you need. No, that's just introduction. I tell people all the time, use YouTube as an introduction to those people who are out there training for this industry, and then go the next step and reach out to that trainer and then start implementing that training trainers classes. Purchase them, spend some money. Think about it. You cannot drop $300,000, $400,000 for a house and then be cheap and don't want to spend $3,000 to learn how to run the house. That doesn't make any sense, and that's why we have so many residential ALF owners that are now struggling because they have not learned how to fill their house. Am I making my point here? All right, here we go. So now you're not getting now. Phase 4. You just got that CO. Congratulations. You are now official. You can now continue the process of opening up your facility. Boom. Drop down to the green arrow because green is for money. Now you're going to start your pre-licensed marketing. All right, let's go to phase 5. Phase 5 is now you can submit your application for your license to the agency for licensing in your state. You cannot submit an application for licensing before you get a certificate of occupancy. That's why the first 4 phases are so important, because you got to know what property to purchase, what business model you want to open, and then you're going to submit your application once you get all your inspections passed. The state is not going to approve your application until they see that the local agency, the building department, the permit department has inspected, because then they say, all right, it's okay for us to say yes to put these elderly in this house because the local building department and the local building agencies has agreed, and here's the proof. It's called certificate of occupancy, the big CO. Are y'all with me? Are y'all learning something? All right, here we go. So phase 5 is submitting the application. Now let me tell you right now, I get all these requests. Oh, I'm about to submit my application. Can you look over my application and tell me what you think about my application? Listen, just fill the thing out and submit it. Nobody can look over your application and tell you with guarantee that your application gonna get approved. Stop. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna happen unless you have a mentor, and the average true mentorship, somebody who walks with you hand in glove, charges anywhere between $20,000 to $100,000 for their services. I used to offer mentorship. I've had several students that I've mentored, but my mentorship program was a gold, silver, bronze, and it was the least expensive one was $25,000. So you're gonna have to just do what I did and get that application downloaded and fill out every section the best you can, answer every question that they ask you, don't leave nothing blank, and submit that baby to the agency. They will tell you if something is wrong. Let me put a pause here right quick. Stop thinking this is gonna happen overnight. We're in this world now where everything's supposed to happen right away. Bam, bam, bam. Go online and watch a reel. Go online and watch somebody on Instagram. Go online and watch somebody on Facebook. And then now I'm going to open up my $250,000 a year business taking care of the elderly, and I've got no formal training. That's not going to work. So you have to submit in phase 5, you have to submit your application with everything they're asking for in that application. And then you go into, now remember now, while you submitting your application, it's a process. They're not going to respond to your application overnight. It may take a week, 2, 3, 5, 4, may take month, 3 months, 4 months, depends on the agency, depends on the location. But if you have an issue on your application, it's my experience that they will send you what your issues are, and then you have a certain amount of time to respond to those issues. So submit the application, have faith, let them do their due diligence, and then they will tell you what's wrong with your application, and then you, being intelligent as you are, will fix the problem, resubmit it, and get the next phase, which is phase 6, application approved. Once that application approved, oh my God, now it's excitement time, because now you have an approved application. They have told you you can use that house. So now it's time to celebrate. You're excited. You got an approved application, and now you're ready to move forward. Now, once you get an approved application, now don't forget, you in phase 6. Are y'all with me? Look closely. You in phase 6. Your application just got approved. Now tell me this. why wouldn't you be marketing? You already got a certificate of occupancy. You already submitted the state application. You already got it approved. Why wouldn't you right now have already started your marketing? Now you see why getting the proper training is so important. You have to start your pre-licensed marketing, because now you got to tell the world. Let me just stay there for a minute. You ever drove down the street in your town and you saw construction going on, and there was a big building, and they was building all this stuff, and the I-beams and all these workers are working, and then you drove by and like, I wonder what that's going to be. No, you don't have to wonder what that's going to be, because there's literally and usually a big gigantic sign in front of the building telling you, coming soon, McDonald's. They let you know right there, McDonald's coming soon. The big arches, the big beautiful red and gold. You know without a shadow of a doubt that McDonald's is coming soon to this location. Okay, now watch this. What did McDonald's just do? Pre-opening marketing. They ain't even open yet. But you already know on 45th Avenue, on your way to work, right up the street from your job, McDonald's is coming soon. And what are you doing at the job? Girl, don't you know McDonald's is going to be open right up the street? We're going to be able to go down there at lunchtime and get something to eat. You are already started the word of mouth to the community about the McDonald's that's coming soon, and they haven't even opened yet. So what makes you think you can go into a community and open up a residential ALF and not tell the world you're coming? That's why pre-licensed marketing is so important. So let's go do a little quick summary here. Number one, boom, you grabbed ALU, you attended the course, you went online, you grabbed it, now you're knowledgeable. Boom, you looked at the different business models that I teach inside of ALU. Boom, now you know exactly what facility you want to open, how many residents you want. Boom, you select the property. Now you know how important it is to select the property, and you know how to select the property because you've been trained. Boom, now you take that property and you run it through the building department, and boom, now you get a CO. Boom, now you ready to rock and roll. Boom, now you start pre-licensed marketing because you know this is your house, this is your location, this is your address. Boom, now you go submit the state agency application so they can approve that application. Boom, now you get that application approved, and while you are still cranking up your pre-licensed marketing, now you're positioning yourself to be successful. Come on, somebody. Boy, I get excited teaching these newbies how to open, own, and operate successful ALFs. All right, let's keep flowing. Don't forget, pre-licensed marketing still going on. You might be a couple months into your pre-licensed marketing. You might already have your YouTube channel set up for your business. Your Facebook channel is set up. You already got your Instagram set up. You already starting your preach posts in. You are marketing. You are a marketing machine. And if you don't know how to do that, no problem. I have a training called Fill My House that teaches you how to do that. So you combine the assisted living university training that we have at ALU with the Fill My House training, put those two together, invest in both of them, and now you have the knowledge that you need to get your place open and successful. No one should be literally waiting until after their license before they start marketing. All right, here we go. Let's move on to phase number 7. Now you got to get the state agency has to come in and do an inspection. You see how that go? The state agency is not coming in to inspect your property until, watch this, the application has been approved. And the application is not going to be approved until the CO has been given. And the CO can't be given until you select the proper property and you prepare the property for the CO inspection. And you're not going to know which properties to select until you learn which business model is available in your community. And you're not going to learn that by watching YouTube University, Instagram, and Facebook, and all them reels. You got to get training from somebody thoroughly so you can understand the process. And I just happen to believe Assisted Living University, the most intensive, comprehensive educational training ever created in the healthcare industry, is here for you. All right, let's go back up to where we are now. Phase 7, state has approved your facility. Now you are excited. You are bouncing off the wall. You are like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. I've been through this process. It's been grueling. They asked me a billion questions. I spent a whole bunch of money, and now I'm officially approved to use this house to open up my business model, assisted living. I'm so excited. Now watch this. One of the first things you need to do once the state approve you is do a soft grand opening. Remember, you are always marketing, pre-licensed marketing, because once the state approves you, it'll take a little time to get that actual licensing number and actual licensing ability to run your facility. That's okay. During that time frame, you just don't sit. You just don't go to the house every day and clean the way you used to be clean and wipe the same walls off and clean the same windows off. No, you need to have your butt out in the streets doing some marketing, letting people know your 3 W's, who you are, where you at, what you have to offer. You need to get out there because your business will not be successful if you do not have residents. That's how we make money in this industry, is caring for the residents. Are you with me? So you need to start the process now. So if I were you, well, the moment the state approved me, if not before, I'm actually having a soft grand opening. What is a soft grand opening? I'm letting the world know, I'm letting the community know, I'm letting my church know, I'm letting everybody in my 6x6 grid know that I'm about to open my facility. I just got approved by the state to have a facility in this house at this location. I need all y'all to come and see it. Come and check it out. So now watch this. If you have done proper pre-licensed marketing, if you have conducted a 6x6 grid, and if you do not know what a 6x6 grid is, that's why you got to get some training. That's why you go right now. Well, not now. Keep listening. Go to alfownership.com. If you are a newbie and you want my system to help you, I call it my 3O system. The system is designed to help you open, own, and operate a successful residential ALF. And within that system, I teach you the 6x6 grid, which is what you need to conduct when you should conduct a 6x6 grid while you selecting the property. You need to know who's around you, what's around you. Let me give you a little short, brief explanation of a 6x6 grid. What you do is you go 6 blocks north, south, east, west from your location, and in that grid, you want to know who's in this grid. Is there rehabs in this grid? Are there hospitals in this grid? Who's in this grid? And then you take out from that 6x6 grid, you take your top 10 list that I give you in the training, and you start determining and identifying who is in this grid. Out of this grid in my community, how many of the top 10 is within my grid, and how many of them in there? You may have 5 local hospitals within your grid, and then you learn how to market and prospect to those hospitals before you even open. You understand what I'm saying to you? That the work has got to be done. You listen, let me just shout as out loud as I can. Y'all hear me? I'm gonna use my coach's voice. Stop being cheap. Think about what you're asking. You're asking someone to give you their time, their talent, and their experience totally free to help you run a $250,000 business, and you want to give them nothing back? That doesn't make sense. So you need to understand that in order for me to be successful, I got to spend just as much money on my education as what I'm doing on everything else. So why are you trying to drop, $4,500 for a bedroom set, but you don't want to drop $3,000 for the knowledge on how to fill those beds? That's backwards. It ain't going to happen. That's why so many of you guys are struggling right now, because it's not going to happen. So you need to understand that when you start doing pre-licensed marketing, you must invest in your knowledge. Come on, somebody. All right, so here we go. Next phase. Congratulations. You hit phase 7. The state has approved your property. It's passed it. They sent somebody out. They checked it out. They did all the inspections. They looked at everything that you got in place, all that money you spent to get it up and running. They said, all right, it's beautiful. You can now bring so many residents in here. Next phase is they're actually going to send you your license number. Once you are approved and passed by the state, you will get that license number. That's the next phase. You'll get that license number. Now, when you get that license number, of course, you're celebrating. Of course, you're excited. Of course, you are pumped up because now you are absolutely legal. Now watch this. Pay attention to what I'm saying right now. I mean, just tell the kids to go away, leave you alone, put your antennas up, and let me explain to you how most ALF owners fail right here. They don't do no pre-license marketing. My students are smart. I have students who have bought facilities existing with only 5 residents and got 12 residents in that place to the max capacity in a period of 90 days. Why? Because they understood pre-licensed marketing. So imagine this, it's Monday morning. You have done no pre-licensed marketing. You just got licensed. The moment you got licensed, phase 8, and you got that license number, you are now legally able to bring residents into your house. It's Monday morning. Your license just came in the mail. Now what do you do? I'm gonna pause for a second. What do you do Tuesday morning when you wake up? Do you go back to the house again like you've been doing for the last 5 or 6 months? Do you have staff already there that you're paying in the event you get a residence? That mortgage is due every 30 days. That insurance is due. That water bill is due. That cable bill is due. All your overhead expenses are due in 30 days. You opened a business so that your residents can be serviced and they pay you for that service, and part of that money that each one of them pay you goes to pay your expenses, your debt management. But it's Monday morning, you just got licensed and you haven't told anybody about your facility. So now what's about to happen now? Now you're finna go out here like a madman or a mad woman, and now you're trying to start telling everybody about your facility. It takes time to cultivate. It's called ABC, always be cultivating. It takes time to cultivate your 6x6 grid. That's why you cannot wait until you get your license. And let me give you my life experience. That's why I believe I'm the best trainer for you, because I've been there, done that. Because of my pre-licensing, because I knew who was in my 6x6 grid, because I made my face known almost weekly to those people. I drove by, I stopped by, I went in, I introduced myself. Hi, my name is. I sent them edibles. I bought them cookies. I did everything I could do to let my name be known. I gave them my brochures. They knew about me. And because they knew about me, they realized they could not legally send me referrals until I was licensed by the state. But there were times where they would call me and tell me they have a residence for me, but I wasn't licensed yet, so they couldn't send them to me. So the moment I got licensed, which was March 15, 2015, literally April 1st, and it wasn't an April Fool's Day, baby. April 1st, I got my first residence that came from a big box facility. What I mean by big box, a facility that has 400 or 500 beds. And then mom got to a point where it was too big. The daughter didn't want her in there anymore. She wanted something small and intimate. Those were the words that she used. I think I need to move my mom out of here and put her in something smaller, more intimate. The director of operations, the moment she said those words, picked up his phone and he called me and asked me, yo, Rob, are you licensed yet? Yes, sir. We got our license. Bam, I got somebody for you. And she moved in. Watch this now. 8 days later, another call came and boom, he sent me a second residence. So I was able to get 2 residents within 2-week period from actually obtaining my license. Why? Because of my pre-license marketing. Are you understanding what I'm teaching you? There's nowhere in the world this guy would have knew about me had I not canvass his community, had I not always been cultivating, had I not been prospecting him, had I not been showing my face, had I not been volunteering over there to help feed his people over there, had I not been sending them edibles, had I not been bringing them cookies, had I not been celebrating what's happening at their facility, it's nowhere in the world he would have thought of me when it was time for him to discharge some people and send them somewhere. That's pre-licensing marketing, and you have to do it. You don't know how? No problem. I got you. I'll show you how to do it. In the description below, I'll describe the different trainings that I have available. You decide which ones you need. My suggestion is you grab the 3.0 system so you can get these phases. This phase that you see right here on your screen, in the 3.0 system, I make it downloadable so you can download it, laminate it, put it on your wall, and follow those phases. Always applicable to your state, but know these phases. And then watch this now. Once you know the phases, then you'll know when to start your pre-license marketing. So once you grab the 3.0 system, then you go grab Fill My House. FillMyHouse.com it's Fill My Houses. FillMyHouses.com shows you all marketing. FillMyHouses.com has nothing to do with documentations, nothing to do with policies and procedures, nothing to do with neglect and abuse, all that administrative stuff that keeps you bogged down, that keeps you away from marketing. FillMyHouses.com is all marketing. How do you get your house full? How do you get heads in the beds? You grab those two trainings, then you are equipped to literally get your house filled. Basically, they're sitting there waiting for you to get your license because they technically and legally can't refer people to your facility without you being licensed. All right, and then phase 9 is move your first residence in, baby. Now you're starting to clock some dollars. But phase 1 through 8, you spending money because you got to get all this stuff up and ready. But if you don't properly do your pre-license marketing, you won't get down here in phase 8 where you got your license and now you still spending money and you're not bringing money in. And I come to tell you, you didn't join this business for it to be a hobby. Hobby means you spending all your money to keep it going. That's not a business, that's a hobby. You want to earn a living. You want to have a quality lifestyle. You want to be generating $10,000, $12,000 a month net income after you've paid all your expenses. And the only way you're going to be able to generate that kind of income is you have to have heads in the beds. You have to fill your house. Period. No other way for you to make it in this business. All right, let me wrap this thing up and summarize. I hope you've learned something. I'm dropping this in my YouTube channel so that if you have questions, drop the questions right below there. If you have comments, drop the comments below there. We will interact with you. There's two types of people that's watching this. Number one, I call you guys the newbies. People who have never opened up a facility. They've been praying about it. They've been thinking about it. They've been talking about it. They've been wondering about it. And now they run across me, maybe for the first time. Do your due diligence. Check me out. I am an authentic, legitimate trainer who've actually, matter of fact, one of the few trainers who have actually, they call me the quadruple threat. I've actually opened, owned, operated, and sold a residential ALF. So you do your due diligence and then you click on the link, alfownership.com. I don't know what the price is for the course right now. Whatever it is, you pay it. You get access 24/7. Digitally downloaded. The moment you purchase, it's digitally downloaded to you. You can watch the videos over and over and over and over. There's some downloads in there that you can download. You're going to learn a lot. But while you're in the purchasing mode, go ahead and grab FillMyHouses.com, which is the marketing piece. Now, some of those training might cross over each other, but then that's okay because you can never get enough knowledge on how to get your business up and running. Do you understand what I'm teaching you? I don't know what else to do. Listen, I'm telling you, the industry is available for you to win. Since the pandemic hit, the large facilities took a major hit. What I mean by that, a lot of people contracted the COVID because they was in a large facility and that was easily transmittable. The smaller facilities are the ones people are looking for now. They're looking to pull mom out of the large facility and give her more intimate care in the smaller home-like setting. So now is the time. There's millions and hundreds of millions of elderly who need your service. Somebody's mama right now is waiting for you to open your facility so she can come in there and live out her days in glory with integrity, dignity, class, attention. The smaller, intimate facilities is the business opportunity. Do not be misled thinking that it's not. It is. The pandemic the only thing the pandemic did was help us. It helped us more than it hurt us. As a matter of fact, my facility that I sold was literally bought July 2020. In the middle of a pandemic, a family bought my facility because they understood that this industry is never going anywhere. It's only going to get better. A pandemic is not going to stop it. I'm talking about pandemic and recession proof. They bought it. And they understood that the reason my house was like it was because I had systems in place. And they was able to inherit my marketing mindset, my marketing system, my marketing contacts. And you can do the same thing, but you gotta first get in there and make it happen. So I want you to win. I want you to win, but I need you to understand that winning is going to cost you some money. You must add to your budget education. And I always tell people, fill your library. If I'm not the trainer for you, you don't resonate with me, find somebody who does and grab their training. If I'm the training for you, you might have multiple trainers. I may be the one that's specializing in this flow chart, this process. I may be the one specializing in marketing. I may be the one specializing in day-to-day operations. And then you got somebody else over here that might be specializing in acquisitions. How do you buy a facility? Somebody might be specializing in franchising. Whatever it is, you need to have your library of ALF full where you can access this training 24/7 so you can run a successful facility. Are you getting this? I love doing live events because you can see my passion right in front of you, but it'll be a long time before I conduct a live event. I'm just not comfortable with being responsible for bringing people together with the possibility of somebody having COVID and then somebody contracting the virus while under my care. I'm not comfortable with that right now, so I'm just not gonna be doing it for a while. But my online training is amazing. In my course, ALF Ownership, guys, there are 62 videos. I've given you everything. I leave no stone unturned. 62 training videos that teaches you what you need to open, own, and operate a successful course. That's the ALFownership.com. And in the fillmyhouses.com, 32 videos strictly on marketing. I teach you how to get that house filled. Combine those two together and you have everything you need to be successful in this industry. So now's the time to make a move. All right, I'm out of here. I spoke enough. Those are the top 9 phases that you need to be flowing in you opening up your process. All right, let me close like I like to close. When your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God is obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know. That's critical to your success and destiny in life. Let me say it one more again and slow it down. When your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God is obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know. That's critical to your success and destiny in life. All right, I'm out. Go open your business and be successful. All right, God bless you. Peace.